Welcome to part 2. We are going to learn some more French phrases to help you out for when you come to French-speaking Africa. Let's start with please. Please. S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. That is how we would say it if we were speaking to someone who we really respect, like is above us career-wise, who is older than us, who is a stranger, or a group of people. Those 4 categories we would say, s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît. The vous is how we say it in a formal way. S'il vous plaît. Now, if I want to say please to someone who fits into these categories, a friend, a close acquaintance, someone younger than me, or just real informal, just real fast, you can say s'il te plaît, s'il te plaît, s'il te plaît, s'il te plaît. The te is the informal way of addressing someone. So as we move on to saying thank you, it's about 3 short words, but you discover that in French, there is a formal way to address people and an informal way to address people, just like in Korean, an awesome language to learn. So when I want to say thank you, I can either say s'il vous plaît, or I can say s'il te plaît. Do you remember the categories for addressing someone as vous? When would I say please and use s'il vous plaît? I'll say s'il vous plaît and address someone formally if it's someone who is in a higher position than me, someone who's older than me, a group of people, or a stranger. S'il vous plaît. So you know what? It's just easy if you're just meeting someone, you don't know them. When in doubt, unless you think the person doesn't understand French very well, just use vous, s'il vous plaît. And it's nice to always just come off polite. The second option, do you remember? S'il te plaît, s'il te plaît, s'il te plaît. S'il te plaît is the informal way of addressing someone when we say please. And what are the 3 categories? What are the 3 reasons or situations why we use s'il te plaît? Do you remember? I think I only gave you 3 categories. One would be is if you're addressing someone younger than you, if you just want to say it really, really fast, or if it is a close acquaintance or friend. In that case, when we say please, we would say s'il te plaît. Great job. This also comes in handy, and it's the same rule when you want to say you're welcome. But we'll save that for the end. So let's move on to the attached PDF in the description, or you can get to there by going to withinwalkingdistance.net and then going to the Come to Africa page. There's a PDF that is titled Useful Emergency French Phrases. We are at number 7 on the list, and the word is phone. Phone in French is portable. Portable, le portable. Un portable, j'ai besoin d'un portable. The reason portable I thought would be a good word on here is because say you get lost and you are well prepared and you remember the phone number of someone who speaks English, you can call them. Or if you need to look up an address on a phone, you can ask for portable. I think it's always good whenever you go to a different country, try your hardest to memorize, if not just keep written down the phone number of your host or your contact or someone who speaks English or speaks both languages on your person, because literally anything could happen. You can get in the taxi, not know where you're going, and realize your phone was left at that last place, but you have no idea how to get back, and you're gonna need to ask somebody, j'ai besoin de ton portable. J'ai besoin d'un portable. And if you don't have the full phrase, you can just say un portable. Un portable. Next, let's move on to I speak English. And I think this is an easy one to remember. But first, do you remember how to say please in a formal way? S'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. Do you remember how to say please in an informal way? S'il te plaît. S'il te plaît. Great. Do you remember how to say phone? Cell phone? Portable. 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 Le portable. Ah, good job. Now moving on to I speak English. This is going to be easy for everyone. It's je parle anglais. Je parle anglais. Je parle anglais. Because maybe it's not evident. Maybe you're talking to someone and they're just going off in French. You could say, je parle anglais. And then after that, maybe they'll search in their brains for the one English word they know, like, hello, how are you? So how do you say, I speak English in French? Je parle anglais. 3 words. Je parle anglais. Next, let's move on to say toilet. I don't need to explain why it's important to know how to say toilet. And the word is toilette. 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 Can you say it? How do you say toilet? You'll thank me later for learning that one. And the last one that I want to show you in this part 2 of the video. Oh, I forgot I said I would show you how to say you're welcome. So the second to last one I want to share with you is I need. I need is the beginning of a sentence. So you're going to need to add a word at the end. And we already learned phone and we already learned bathroom. Phone is portable. Bathroom is toilette. We also learned how to say help, because we learned help me, which is in part 1 we learned aide-moi, or we could just take off moi and you can say help, aide or aider. So let's learn I need, the beginning of this simple phrase that's very useful. J'ai besoin. J'ai besoin. J'ai besoin. J'ai besoin literally means I have need. So you need to put on the end some other word. How do you say I need? J'ai besoin. How do you think you would say I need toilet? I need a toilet. J'ai besoin les toilettes. J'ai besoin les toilettes. Now, I added a little article before toilet, but, if you don't know the articles and you're in an emergency situation and you're only here for a short period of time, it's much better to know how to say j'ai besoin de toilette than to not know how to say it or be worried about messing up the grammar. So, in an emergency situation, I would say j'ai besoin les toilettes. But if you forget the article, it's okay. J'ai besoin les toilettes. J'ai besoin les toilettes. How would you say I need a toilet? How would you say I need a toilet? J'ai besoin les toilettes. How would you say phone, cell phone? Portable. Now let's put this phrase together and let's say I need a phone. I need a cell phone. J'ai besoin d'un portable. J'ai besoin d'un portable. The simple way to say it, which really gets your point across, even though the grammar is not great, is j'ai besoin portable. J'ai besoin portable. If you can remember those three simple words, j'ai besoin portable, you'll be understood. Now, if you want to say it excellently, you can say j'ai besoin d'un portable. J'ai besoin d'un portable. Like I need a phone. And so let's try another one. How would you say I need help? From part 1, we remember help me is aide-moi. Aide-moi. Now how would you say I need help? J'ai besoin d'aide. J'ai besoin d'aide. Now, if you didn't add the article, put in the D sound before ed, it would sound like j'ai besoin d'aide. J'ai besoin d'aide. And you'll be understood. But if you want beautiful grammar, it's j'ai besoin d'aide. Just like in English, the word dead. Like, my cat is dead. So sad. Dead. J'ai besoin d'aide. So I think this video was a bit more intensive than part 1, but let me not forget that I wanted to share with you how to say you're welcome. Do you remember how to say please in a formal situation? S'il vous plaît. Do you remember to say please in an informal situation? S'il te plaît. Now, when it comes to you're welcome, it's always easy to do the not a problem, no worries. You can say pas de souci, de rien. But I like to say the literal you're welcome, which formally would be je vous en prie. Je vous en prie. Je vous, you hear it again? The formal vous, en prie. There's also the informal, gonna replace vous with te. Informal, you're welcome, is je t'en prie. Je t'en prie. Je t'en prie. How do you say you're welcome in a formal situation? Je vous en prie. How do you say you're welcome in an informal situation? Je t'en prie. So you can think of them together. To say please and you're welcome in a formal situation would be s'il vous plaît, and also je vous en prie. Now, if you want to say please and you're welcome in an informal situation, it would be s'il te plaît and je t'en prie. All right. So that ends part 2, and part 3 will be revision and a quiz. So if you want to test yourself, watch video part 3. Au revoir.